YouTuber formerly known as Masterboard66, the Omega, the Sub of the Performer. Welcome to the channel. So today, we got a lot to talk about. Regards to Microsoft and what's going on with this acquisition that they were trying to achieve with this Activision and Blizzard. Yeah, I've been keeping up with it for quite some time now. I've been quiet long enough. But it's time for you to realize what's been going on in the gaming industry. Okay? With these guys. They ain't no good. It's all for personal gain. And y'all thinking, especially you Xbox fanboys and supporters, thinking that this is a win for gamers. It's not. And I'm going to prove to you. So, I'm going to read something to y'all. This is coming from a ex-EA employee. I think he was an employee for Xbox too. But yeah, he goes by the name of HERES. I'm sorry if I butchered your name, but yeah, he made a long post about this whole Xbox, Microsoft, Activision, Blizzard things here, and I want to spread awareness, and I'm going to read all of this too. So let's talk about it. So he said in the recent news, the European Commission has officially approved the highly discussed acquisition Activision Blizzard King by Microsoft. This decision marks a significant development of ongoing debate surrounding the potential impacts of this deal of the gaming industry. As we delve into various aspects of this acquisition, it is important to consider the broader implication it may have on innovation, competition, and the overall gaming ecosystem. Now, it is surprising to see that the debate is focused on the potential vertical competition between PlayStation, Xbox, and the impact this acquisition has on the market balance. This may be because the Japanese company is very active of regulatory authorities with the avowed aim of thwarting the transaction, or because Microsoft is quite in-depth at limiting the discussion to the obvious topic. Okay, let me see if... my mic is on. Okay, I just want to make sure because I might start over. However, if the lobby activities of PlayStation monopolize the attention of the media and gamers, summarizing the issue to vertical competition between console manufacturers overlooks the unprecedented impact of the acquisition of the entire global video game ecosystem. Sony puts forward numerous arguments, and Microsoft skillfully counters them. For example, for forging partnerships with third parties like Nvidia and even Nintendo. I'm gonna get to that. Why that is. The objective of the Redmond-based company is to limit the impression that the acquisition will grant a dominant position in the video game market. Yeah, about the third-party part, that's cap. Microsoft ain't really gonna do that, especially for Nintendo. I'll get to that after I'm done with this. Sony considered that the acquisition would have very negative impact on its position in the market, will harm competitive balance because Microsoft could quickly reach a hegemonic position on the market, as well as exert greater control by taking over flagship franchises, which rightfully so, which Sony is right. Is it solely about vertical competition? What is very surprising, however, and perhaps due to intense lobbying deployed by the Redmond-based company, is the deafening silence of the other market players. Nintendo does not express itself, or does so very sparingly, which almost amount to supporting Microsoft. One can imagine that the company that produces the Switch console will not necessarily see a weakening of its Japanese competitor in a bad light. Independent developers, at least those boosted by Game Pass, are carefully not to take sides against Microsoft. Even major publishers who are increasingly integrating their catalogs into Game Pass and have no interest in falling out with Xbox remain silent, which amounts to supporting Microsoft. At the same time, it is worth noting the little success Sony has had in finding allies in this fight, as if everyone knew the outcome of the conflict in advance and wanted to preserve their relationship with the firm led by Phil Spencer, punk ass. Reducing the acquisition vertical competition between console manufacturers and extreme simplification of the problems that ABK, Activision Blizzard King, integration could pose the entire market in its blindness. A danger to stifle publishers. For publishers, it's evident that the integration of Activision Blizzard King into Xbox will create significant disruption into the gaming market. Even if Xbox allows PlayStation owners to play Call of Duty on the Japanese console, we cannot ignore the fact that Call of Duty franchise will now belong to the American firm. It is easy to imagine that Microsoft will be able to create more attractive Call of Duty players, the ecosystem for Xbox owners, either by offering future iterations of the game in Game Pass, while Call of Duty will be available at $80 on PlayStation, by integrating the entire Call of Duty catalog into Game Pass, by implementing more efficient XP systems for Xbox owners experience, or by developing specific exclusive max weapons cosmetics for Xbox owners. However, we can continue to focus solely on the vertical competition between Xbox and PlayStation. We seem to forget that the integration of Call of Duty into Xbox will have an immediate and extremely significant impact of other first-person shooter games available on that platform. It is quite evident that Xbox will prioritize its own first-person shooter titles, as Microsoft's always done, at the expense of emerging and existing third-party first-person shooting games. Consequently, that franchise like Battlefield, for an example, whose potential to appeal to the broader target audience will be hindered, will have limited support from Xbox. Similarly, what place will be there for new first-person shooter games in Game Pass when gamers find the entire catalog of Halo and Call of Duty there? It is conceivable that this will lead to scarcity in the genre, which will already have multitude of free and high-quality first-person shooter games in Game Pass, all owned by Microsoft. As we know, Call of Duty consumes a significant amount of playtime, and available playtime for other first-person shooter games and Game Pass will be further reduced. In the medium term, it is the gamers who will be at a disadvantage. So you following me, right? And the offerings will be limited on the oligopoly of first-person shooter games and owned by the decreasing number of players, which Microsoft alone control in Call of Duty, Halo, Gears of War, and more. The limitations of available playtime is a phenomenon that has been observed for several years, resulting from the already dominant position of Call of Duty and a few other AAA games. This position will only be amplified if Xbox requires Activision. We got a long way to go, guys. So, listen carefully and, take heed. The problem of the publishers would like to challenge this new paradigm that, by doing so, would mean declaring war on Xbox, which already wields significant influence in the market and will exert even greater influence in the future. I'll say about 10 years by now. It is also conceivable that Microsoft in the future will not be as accommodating when it comes down to integrated first-person shooter games not owned by them into Game Pass. However, publishers currently present in Game Pass find it challenging to criticize the acquisition without risking their presence in Microsoft's subscription offering. Ultimately, there is a significant risk of publishers and developers to speak out against the potential market domination and the perils of what could be called a horizontal competition. In terms of games themselves, in the medium term, the risk is very real for all franchises not owned by Microsoft, whatever they are already established or currently in development as we speak. The end of the line of retailers has Game Pass killed the retail star. Just as publishers are hesitant or unable to intervene in debate, we observe the silence of retailers whose daily revenue still partially depends on the sales of Xbox console and products as well as sales of Call of Duty. For many years, if not always, the launch of Call of Duty has always been a significant source of revenue for retailers. They can rely not only on the physical sales of the game, but also the substantial investments made by Activision and retail to orchestrate the launch of their flagship franchise. For a few weeks, stores become Call of Duty branded. The day one becomes an event, and the licensed objects surrounding the franchise are massively available collector's editions, all contribute to significant revenue and margins for distributors. In the scenario where Call of Duty will be available in Game Pass for Xbox owners at a price of $80 in retail for PlayStation owners, it is foreseeable that the new owner of the franchise will no longer invest heavily in retail. Such investments will become unnecessary as Xbox players will have access to the game through Game Pass and PlayStation players will know where to find it. This represents a significant stream of revenue that will vanish for distributors, not just in terms of physical sales, but also the large-scale launches such as Call of Duty, Overwatch, or even Diablo, which have all been memorable events for players. The loss of this revenue could spell the definitive end of the physical retail, which plays a crucial role in the vitality of the video game market. Today, this is a fact. We know that retail investments that traditionally accompanied I can't even talk today. Launches of the Microsoft flagship franchises has been reduced into the minimum since Forza, Halo, Gears of War become part of Game Pass. Retailers have already found it challenging to adapt, but it's feared the reductions of the Activision's investments will be the final blow. Game Pass could prove to be a retail killer. Hear that? However, it's difficult to bite the hand that partially feeds you, and we do not hear retailers warning about the risk of acquisition poses to their business model and their future in the gaming industry. Impact of the broader gaming ecosystem. Beyond the immediate concerns of the console competition, publisher struggles, and the fate of retailers, the Microsoft Activision acquisition has far-reaching implications for the entire gaming ecosystem. One aspect that has received less attention is potential impact on innovation and diversity in the gaming development. Activision Blizzard King, with its diverse portfolio of studios and franchises, has been a major player in the industry, contributing to the variety of gaming experience available to players. However, with this acquisition, the real risk into focus will shift towards maximizing profits and exploiting established franchises, potentially stifling creativity in the emergence of new IPs. So hopefully you're getting what I'm saying, here, what I'm reading here. Because what he's saying is facts. Furthermore, the consolidation of power in the hands of a few major players such as Microsoft can limit competition and create barriers for smaller developers and publishers indie games. The gaming industry has thrived on the contributions of independent studios and innovative startups, which has awfully brought fresh ideas, unique experience to the table. If the acquisition leads to more of a monopolistic landscape, these smaller players may struggle to compete and find opportunities for growth. All right, number 2, what you gonna do? All right. Another concern is the potential for increased monetization and the impact of player experience, like you and me. Activision Blizzard King has faced criticism in the past for its aggressive monetization practices, which have sometimes been perceived as predatory. With Microsoft and emphasis on service like Game Pass and the goal of maximizing revenue, there is a risk that such practices could become even more prevalent, potentially alienating players and eroding trust in the industry. Finally, the acquisition could have been implication of the broader cultural impact on gaming. Activision Blizzard King has been involved in controversies related to the workplace culture and allegations of harassment and discrimination. Addressing these issues and fostering a more inclusive, diverse gaming community should be a priority. However, the acquisition raises questions on how these matters will be handled and whatever meaningful change will be prioritized alongside financial considerations. In conclusion, the Microsoft Activision acquisition has far-reaching implications that extend beyond the realm of console competition as affects publishers, developers, retailers, and the game ecosystem as a whole. While vertical competition between consoles is part of the equation, it is crucial to consider the broader impact on innovation, diversity, and monetization practices and cultural issues. The future of the gaming industry hangs in the balance, and the decision made in the wake of acquisition will shape its trajectory for years to come. A significant blow to the gaming industry. All right, this is the last section here. At a time when IGN is implementing employee layoffs, Game Cult is shutting down in France. The gaming media outlets worldwide are facing substantial challenges. The consolidation of Activision franchises and under Microsoft's control poses a clear threat. Even prior to the emergence of Game Pass, Xbox has historically invested less in the media advertisement compared to PlayStation. There is concern that this trend would extend to the flagship franchises of Santa Monica based publisher, and that investment would diminish for games included in Game Pass. This puts hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue at risk for gaming media outlets. It is worth noting that we are not referring to television, where Xbox investments are rare exceptions and significantly smaller in the scale compared to Sony's. Instead, we are focusing on the gaming websites that we rely on daily for information that serves a driving force within the gaming industry. Now, when was the last time we witnessed a massive worldwide campaign for a launch of Forza, Gears of War, or Halo? In contrast, PlayStation consistently and extensively supports all its releases. The campaigns for Game Pass cannot replace the substantial funding that has disappeared. As evident, the debate encompasses far more than just vertical competition amongst console manufacturers and an escalated console war. It jeopardizes the delicate balance within the gaming ecosystem, including creativity opportunities that Game Pass still offers to smaller market players. The survival of other significant franchises in this new system, struggling retailers and media outlets facing their own challenges. While it's not our role to make decisions, it is crucial that we all remain aware of these implications. Microsoft's proficiency in leveraging a dominant position, as observed in the cases of Office and Windows, serves as a remainder of potential consequences. He says, thanks for reading. Alright. That's it. Now, I hope you understand that. I hope you got that. For those of you that are gamers, that are consumers, y'all need to understand the business and how the business can help you, or people in the business can trip you out because you don't know the business. The average gamer, the average consumer will just know the end result and know that things are coming out and they buy it and they enjoy it and what they like to do. See, here's the thing here, and this is why, if y'all didn't listen to my podcast, a friend of mine, with me and a friend of mine, Antonio C. Armour, we talked about this already months ago. If you haven't seen that video, you need to watch it. But this video is pretty much all the information you need to know, because he's talking about the worst case scenario if this acquisition that Microsoft is going to fully clear with Activision Blizzard comes into fruition. And the EU didn't make it no better last week. They approved it, as I read. Okay? You got players like Phil Spencer capping, playing victim to make it seem like PlayStation is taking all credit. And all PlayStation do is making exclusive deals to publishers. They're not trying to take away publishers away, like Microsoft is doing. They don't care about games. Microsoft never care about games. If you understand their business model, because this is going all around, embrace, extend, and extinguish. They're at the extinguish part. They're at the extinguish part. They want to have you not have nothing. Don't own anything. You're not gonna own this. You're not gonna own a physical copy while they're leading the gaming market. You're not. You do not want that smoke. You're not gonna own anything. Everything gonna be digital. Not just in gaming, and other things too that can affect us in society. But we're talking about gaming right now. I hope you take heed of what I was reading there, because it's going to look bad in a couple of years. It's kind of mid right now how gaming is, but there are some people that have passions of what they want to do and what they want to bring to life and show it to the people and share it so people can play it and enjoy it. And these freaking... they just don't play fair. They want to colonize the gaming ecosystem. This is all a personal benefit. And if you understand, this ain't just about Call of Duty. It's about buying every publisher so they can win. They don't want to compete like Nintendo and Sony. They just want to buy up everything. They want to Ted DiBiase the championship. They just want to buy it. They don't want to earn. They don't want to fight. And the only company that's not scared of Microsoft right now is Sony. This right here, after the EU approved this acquisition, lit a fire up in Jim Ryan's ass, and he understands what's going on here. So, what we got, they was like, okay. Sony PlayStation like, okay, we got y'all. What's really going on is Microsoft, the reason why they're doing this, not just because they want to devalue other games that's not made in America, not just because, you know, they want to minimize, they want to control the Western gaming media and create a false narrative about games. They're really scared about other companies that might come to play into this market and dominate them to the point where they're going to have to pack their bags and go. And rumor has it Apple is making a home console game. Is making a gaming console. They're afraid of Apple. Or anybody else that they feel like, okay. But then again, like I said, they don't care about games like that. When it comes down to their conference meetings, that I was told this. When it comes down to their conference meetings, Xbox is barely talked about. Xbox is barely talked about. They don't care about you. They don't. They don't care about you for nothing, bro. It's all about the money. It's all about the green. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of key players left the Microsoft Game Studios. They left the Xbox brand, dude. Because there's some people that was on the team that really cared about making games for people and AA titles and all this and that. You know. You have Halo and Gears of War. Look at Halo Infinite. Look how the rollout of Halo Infinite came out. That was so half-assed. You gonna release the multiplayer portion first, and then the campaign like 6 months later. That's what y'all want. That's what y'all want in gaming today. That's what y'all want gaming in 5 to 10 years from now. Microtransactions for you to do that, and you're not gonna own anything. It's all gonna be digital. That's what you want. You gotta understand, man. You gotta take a stand for what's right and what you believe in. But if there's like malpractices and people are being quiet about it because they scared of Microsoft. Now Nintendo's acting like a bitch right now. I'm sorry. Nintendo, y'all acting like a bitch. You scared of Microsoft. That they want you to make a deal with them, have like a little exclusive little deal, 10-year deal of Call of Duty. You know that's cap. They're gonna take the fine because they're lying. That's what they did with Bethesda when they got that out of the way from like having being exclusive to Google Stadia. It's crazy in the hood, man. It's messed up. And this could be the end of pure gaming as we know it. If this fully comes into fruition. Look here, we're just talking about the worst case scenario here when it comes down to the gaming market. And I said this before. I said if there's a time where there's a video game crash, it's going to be Microsoft's fault. I said that in the podcast 6 months ago. If there's a time where there's a video game crash, it's going to be on Microsoft's fault. It's going to be on Xbox Watch. That's a lot to process. This is a lot to process here. What I just read in this video. Like, you gotta think. And I'm looking at games like Final Fantasy 16. We got Street Fighter 6 coming now. You're not gonna get none of those freaking Japanese developed games like that under Microsoft's domination. You're not gonna get games like Forspoken or Mario Kart or Gunvolt or Wulong Fallen Dynasty. Not under them. These westernized freaking game developers can't even make games right, man, half the time. Decent, but you know, some of them decent, but you know, let's keep it a buck. They're not in it to compete, bro. Microsoft is not in this game to compete. They in to buy everything. Cause they can't win right now. Who is really like winning is Nintendo and Sony because they have the games and they produce. Microsoft is so hemmed up and desperate for this acquisition to go through to the point Redfall was half-assed. And Starfield ain't gonna be no different. I would say Starfield would probably sell more on PC, not on Xbox. I want to know what happens. What's going to happen? What ending is canon in Gears of War 5 that we're going to see in Gears of War 6? Not until this acquisition done. That's what they're telling you. That's a lot to think about, guys. For those of you that are Xbox supporters, Xbox fans, look at this right here. Hold on. This is my Series X. Okay? I have 2 of them. But this one's collecting dust. And I bought one for my dad. And he's playing on it the most. And because people probably try to say before, oh, you a Sony fanboy. No, I go where the games are. But really, I'm on PlayStation most of the time. Well, lately I've been mostly on Nintendo, but most of the time I'm on PlayStation, bro. They have the games. They have the games that I care about, that I like. I hope you understand. I hope you understand what's really about to happen to the gaming industry. Because they have to go through the FTC. And that's like... And, you know, Microsoft, they might stall for that, too. That's supposed to be like in July or August. But I don't even think the FTC is going to approve it. Because they're suing Microsoft. I forgot about the information about that, but I don't even think they're going to approve it. But if this acquisition fully gets around like the majority, that's it. You don't see a complete shift in media and gaming in general. I have not seen anybody that on this platform is talking about this, bro. So I want to spread awareness on that too, and people that's within the industry that I know of, and the guy that I just that was talking about on his Twitter that I was reading to y'all. Gaming ain't gonna be the same, bro. It's starting to feel that way right now. But after this, if this fully goes through, this acquisition, if y'all was paying attention to this video, y'all already know why. But leave a comment down below what y'all think about this. Please like the video so you push the algorithm. Share this video. Share this video. This is probably the most detailed video I've probably ever done since I came back on YouTube out of retirement. and it's been almost a year. Friday will be a year since I've been on this channel doing work. I do a variety of videos here, you know what I'm saying, the whole 9 yards, stuff like this, gaming, talking about, you know, relationships, skits, variety show here. But yeah, subscribe to the channel, man, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.